Madrid. This stadium, which is amongst the smallest in the entire top division in Spain, not always full either, but preparing to try and put Real Madrid to the sword tonight. Ross Dyer and Bodo Illgner for you for this contest. And Bodo, Getafe coming in here not in the best of form. They often say that form goes out of the window in a derby. Will it be true today?
It's difficult for Getafe to gain back their self-confidence after 8 matches without winning. Really difficult. I doubt it that it will be easy for them. And they struggle. They have a big opponent here against them in the Alfonso Perez, the former Real Madrid player, born in Getafe, named after him, played 2 years as well in Barcelona. They have to have his spirit today to get something positive out of this game.
Quite a few empty seats as well in this suburb in the south of the capital in Spain. They have not been treated to the best of results this season.
And 60 euros a ticket is not the cheapest price to get here with your family. And you're right, the recent form from this man's team here, Luis Garcia, who is under a lot of pressure, was not the best.
Let's talk you through the two lineups then. Getafe coming off a defeat to Osasuna last week, which allowed them to overtake them in the league. They're struggling. They've got two first-choice players out, their first-choice left-back and first-choice right-back through suspension. Roberto Lago and Alvaro Arroyo both picking up their yellow cards last week, ruling them out tonight. That means that Carlos Vigaré, a 19-year-old, will make his debut in La Liga at left-back. It's going to be interesting for them. And they've actually made 5 changes to try and counter Carlo Ancelotti's side, but struggling with injuries as well. It is far from a first-choice 11 for Luis Garcia, who is under pressure, as you mentioned,
yeah,
Bodo.
Definitely. Another player just out in the last minute. Mitchell, the defensive midfielder, was in the lineup until just recently. He couldn't make it into the bench, not even in the squad. So his position is taken over by Juan Antonio Rodriguez.
No problems of the sort for Real Madrid, although they are missing, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, who serves the second of his 3-match ban in La Liga following his sending off in Bilbao. They have lodged a further complaint with the Spanish committee. They've yet to hear anything back, so we expect there not to be a positive response on that front. But this team, there are no issues whatsoever. 6 changes from the side, which completed the job in the Copa del Rey semi-final second leg at the Calderón on Tuesday. And you see Jesse Rodriguez slotting straight back into that attacking lineup up front with Gareth Bale and Karim Benzema, who is in good form in front of goal.
Yeah, only one change if you compare the lineup to the last Liga game against Villarreal at home. A 4-2 win for Real Madrid. The first game, Cristiano Ronaldo was missing, but all the three strikers up front were able to score. Benzema even twice. The only man missing is Carvajal at the right back, but Arbeloa slides in there without any problem. Maybe Real Madrid will miss a little bit of the offensive power of Carvajal, but Arbeloa a very solid right back.
Pedro Jesus Perez is our referee from the south as Real Madrid enter the south of the city to take on Getafe, and the stadium is barely half full. Expensive prices, terrible form from the side in blue, all adding to perhaps part of the issue in the low attendance. But Real Madrid will have to counter that lack of atmosphere in a certain regard to try and get a positive result. A more positive result than they managed here last season, back on match day 2, when arguably everything started to go wrong for Jose Mourinho, suffering their first defeat of the season, 2-1 to Getafe on that occasion, despite going in front through a player who is no longer on the playing roster, Gonzalo Higuain. As Sergio Ramos, his clearance, he's the last man to score a winning goal for Real Madrid on this stadium, coming 2 seasons ago. Under Mourinho, of course, 1 goal was enough.
Gareth Bale, his 3rd appearance in a row.
Positive signs for Carlo Ancelotti that Bale has been fit to start those 3 matches in a row, starting with the league game against Villarreal last week, in which he scored the opening goal inside the opening 10 minutes. Here he is, continuing with a start against Atletico Madrid, as they really made it comfortable sailing in the second leg of the semi-final in midweek to reach their 39th Copa del Rey final upcoming. Of course, it will be another Clásico.
Good to see for Real Madrid is also that Marcelo is back again after injury. He and the other left back, Coentrao, were injured in the last league game at home against Villarreal. Both needed to be replaced in the first half. Coentrao replaced first Marcelo, then at halftime he had to be replaced by Arbeloa, who took over as left back. But they're both back available, Marcelo playing and Coentrao on the bench.
Well, here's another opportunity for Jaime Gavilan, one of the players who's come into the starting 11 because of all of these absences for Getafe, doing without the influential Rafa Lopez at centre-back, doing without their right-back Alvaro Arroyo, the left-back Roberto Lago, both of them are suspended, and also doing without Sergio Escudero at left-back, who is the second choice, and therefore they've got this youngster in, wearing the number 28 shirt. Keep an eye on him, Carlos Vigaré. His debut in La Liga today. He has played once for the club in the Copa del Rey, also against an illustrious opponent in Barcelona.
Yeah, he played on the right back against Neymar then. And another youngster is on the bench with the number 29, coming up from the Getafe B team, David Fornis. He is a left back, and we might see him later on as well.
There's an early ball drifted in by Angel Di Maria for Bale, who was trying to cushion that with his chest for Benzema. Gareth Bale with his 8 assists so far in La Liga, also assisted Benzema in the Copa del Rey against Espanyol with a little flicked header. Free kick won there by Arbeloa. Playing at right back today, Dani Carvajal is rested.
Pretty aggressive yesterday in training. Alvaro Arbeloa took down Sergio Ramos in a circle of 5 against 2. Well, luckily nothing happened. So both are available.
With that thumping win, first of all by Atletico Madrid yesterday afternoon against Real Valladolid, and then obviously the follow-up from Barcelona whipping another capital side in Rayo Vallecano 6-0 at Camp Nou. Obviously it's a 3-point gap back to the summit of the table, and Real Madrid must keep pace. They don't want to undo all of that wonderful work where they have been the form side in La Liga.
Yeah, not only they have done a great job, some opponents did a great job to beat Barcelona, to beat Atletico Madrid, and managed Real Madrid to come back here. The attitude is all right in the first 5 minutes. You can see that Real Madrid wants to take over control here. Getafe waiting, sitting pretty deep, leaving ball possession here to the Blancos. Di Maria has steady man in the lineup recently.
Xabi Alonso coming through, going through 3 challenges. No whistle on him. Real Madrid get on with it though, and here's Hesse, first chance to trouble them. And he's done more than that. He scored the opening goal inside 5 minutes. Jesse Rodriguez. Cometh the hour, cometh the young man.
2012, he played here with Castilla team against Getafe B, and he scored with the same foot on the same goal in the same corner. It is Jesse Rodriguez, the man of the hour, who takes advantage of this pass here from Gareth Bale. Is in a 1-against-1 situation, but what a sloppy defending, turning the back towards Jesse here. Lisandro Valera doing a very poor job there, and easily for a man like Jesse Rodriguez to put this one home.
That is expert marksmanship of the highest order from the man who broke Butragueño's long-standing record in the reserve side last season. Evermore now stepping in and filling the shoes of Cristiano Ronaldo in La Liga and scoring yet again.
That can't start any better for Real Madrid, who needs and wants to get those 3 points here. An early goal here Not as early as against Villarreal last week, but still early enough to bring a lot of trouble to the home team.
Hesse, who will turn 21 in 10 days' time. Before Tuesday's cameo, where he came on for the last 15 minutes in the Calderon, he'd scored in 4 games running, and now this is 3rd league start in a row for Real Madrid, and scoring in each of those games. An exceptional record he has. Coming into the weekend, he averaged a goal every 98 minutes in La Liga. This is first season, of course, in the breakthrough at the top division. And that was the same record, incidentally, as Diego Costa. Of course, Diego Costa scored early on yesterday for Atleti, and Jesse Rodriguez has just matched him yet again.
Well, that's a problem of a team without any self-confidence, not getting the results recently. Getafe.
You have to go back to the end of November to find their last league victory, Getafe against Levante. And something we should state here is it's the only side in La Liga without a win in 2014, hosting the only side in 2014 yet to lose in La Liga. And so far, Real Madrid displaying that form in abundance. Here's Bale, twisting and turning, wants it on his left foot. Alexis with a toe in behind for a corner to Real Madrid.
Yeah, even with his sloppy defense earlier, he doesn't get the time to have it on his left. He should have taken advantage of the right when he had it there. Gains the first corner for Real Madrid. Vigaray, the youngster against the other youngster, Jesse, the goal scorer.
The problem is with Getafe having to chase this game now. Unfamiliar starting 11 for them. They're up against a side that can just control possession.
Injury problems, of course, for Getafe as well, and their coach Luis Garcia said, in the number of missing players, we win over Real Madrid. They were really unlucky in Osasuna when they had to take out 2 players before halftime. Rafa and Cyprian were injured, and their Cyprian is available on the bench, but Rafa is not.
In goes Marcelo. They've managed to stop that combination between him and Benzema there at the last-ditch attempt. A little nice work of foot there by Diego Castro. Getafe's leading goal scorer is Pedro Leon, someone who Real Madrid know very well.
Nice run here from Vigaray, the youngster, the left back. Comes up against Arbeloa, who chases him and pushes him back.
So I'm sure Vigaray enjoyed that Copa del Rey outing against Barcelona. I'm sure he didn't enjoy it when Lionel Messi ran through the entire Getafe defence to score that marvellous goal.
There's easier games to start, of course, your career, but it doesn't need to mean that there is no career for him anymore possible. I remember my very first appearance in La Bundesliga against Bayern Munich, coming in and facing Lothar Matthäus for a penalty right away when Toni Schumacher was sent off with red card and committing this penalty to Bayern Munich.
Something tells me he scored, no?
He scored. You're completely right. I tried to avoid this, but you're completely right. He scored. Was not even warm when I had to take the ball out of the net, but I was lucky not to get a back injury when I went for the ball to get it out of the net.
I'm sorry, Bodo, you can't tell half a story. We have to finish it off that way.
Yeah, I got you. I get your point.
Hesse with another good run. Promise for him to perhaps score more than one today. There is the man who is under pressure, and sadly for him, with everyone talking about this possibly being his last game if it doesn't go well, Luis Garcia taking charge of Getafe for the 100th time in La Liga today.
He says already, if the club fires me, it's all right. That's life in football in nowadays. He has a very good reputation. He shouldn't be worried about getting a new club pretty soon, but had a great job done here so far. But just this season, the last weeks are horrible. They started pretty well into the season. Between match day 6 and 9, they had 4 victories straight, and they dreamed by this time of the Champions League.
It would have been a marvelous stream to keep going. Well, they've managed to keep going here and respond in some fashion to win a corner. It's a club that's never finished higher than 6th place, just to clarify that, in the chase for Europe.
Pedro Leon, former Real Madrid player.
His corner headed firmly out by Gareth Bale. It's a former Real Madrid player for whom it didn't go very well at the Bernabeu.
I think Mourinho was not his best friend in the preparation for this match. I googled it a little bit. I saw a press conference where Mourinho got angry with the reporters asking him why Pedro Leon was not in the squad. And he answered really angrily, we're not talking about Zidane or Maradona here, we're talking about Pedro Leon. So I think he had not the best standing.
That's right, here he is. In fact, he was left out of a Champions League squad against Auxerre in 2010, and the reporters wanted to ask Mourinho why, and he said, well, yeah, we're talking about Pedro Leon, not one of those greats. Included Di Stefano in that. Of course, Leon didn't take it too well. Said it wasn't what he said, it was the manner in which he said it. Of course, that is often the problem with Jose Mourinho. Some familiar quotes, though. He was suggesting if he does what I want him to do, playing down the right-hand side, working more defensively, then he will do fine. Where have we heard that before?
Di Maria sends it out wide to the left. Benzema escaping. Real Madrid still putting out pressure on this team. Lack of self-confidence. I think that's a perfect way to play this year if they want to get away with the 3 points.
They will be wary that the fact they scored the early goal in the game last season on this ground and still went on to lose it. This man, Juan Valera, actually scored the equaliser for Getafe in that game. Off goes Pedro Leon again.
Well, nice football until the box from Getafe. Need to get a little bit looser to produce a nice football they are capable of.
Chance for Benzema to bring Bale in here. He's going at the youngster. The youngster did well. Forced Bale onto his right foot for the cross. Easily now with Miguel Moya, the goalkeeper.
Well, the problem for Carlos Vigaray is that he himself is a right foot. So if Gareth Bale passes him on his right, he has to use his left, and then he's in a weaker position. But if Gareth Bale turns inside, that's the perfect position for Vigaray to defend that.
Ramos blocking that cross from Jaime Gavilan. Getafe earned promotion 9 seasons ago. This is their 10th in the top flight. Currently sitting in that sort of lower to mid-table range in Spain. Important that they do gather enough points over the coming weeks to make sure it's not going to come down to the last run-in for their top flight survival. But drifting ever lower, 4 points separating them from the bottom 3 at the moment. Here's Gavilan.
Xabi Alonso again in the box with the head. We have seen him clear the corner out earlier, now a second time. Really surprising with players in there like Ramos, like Pepe, that Xabi Alonso is the one dominating the head play in Real Madrid's defense. Here we have a replay of a strong challenge from Xabi Alonso in midfield, but referee did not call anything for that one. Borja got injured there.
Borja Fernandez is the man with the most experience in this team for Getafe, 33 years young. There's Alexis, the former Valencia centre-half, who's gone down injured here. And Real Madrid Sporting League are going to put this out, I think. Certainly they stopped.
Happened with Benzema here. Of course, bringing his knee up here against the defender. Should have been a free kick here, as he brings the knee up to protect himself, but on the other hand, hurting Alexis.
Madrid usually have enough to deal with Getafe on home soil. It has been a trouble for them coming to this ground in recent seasons since Getafe have been in the top flight and this rivalry has begun. 4 times they've fallen to defeat on this ground. Leading here through Jesse Rodriguez's 5th league goal of the season, beautifully taken inside 5 minutes. Getafe playing attractive brand of football.
I still haven't found their rhythm yet. Not a surprise after this shock of the Jesse goal. Oh,
well, there's a foul called.
Pepe struggling there against Adrian Colunga. Lucky to receive the free kick here. It was a pretty soft foul. Look at this long ball. Makes Colunga run and chase it. A little push there, but Pepe, a strong guy, just going down there and luckily winning this free kick.
Getafe have showed, not just against Real Madrid, that they have what it takes to trouble teams on this ground. Remember earlier this season, actually the last game going into the winter break against Barcelona. At this point in the match, they were 2-0 up against Barca. They actually went on to concede 5, though.
Big chance for Getafe to move up in the table with the win today, but it looks pretty hard for them right now.
Here's Arbeloa.
Well, he was onside, surprisingly. All by himself with so much space here, but not doing anything with it.
Thought there it was a moment for Alvaro Arbeloa to pull the trigger in front of goal, not something he's particularly accustomed to. Just a warning for young Carlos Figueroa at the back, though.
Well, that's a big difference in the right backs between Carvajal and Arbeloa. Carvajal, a man who can produce offensive power over the right wing. Arbeloa, a very solid defender, appears a couple of times on the wing, but is not producing as much as the young man Carvajal. Rodriguez, nice football, but Borja gives it away. Able to win it back and finally.
Here's Gavilan again. Long-time servant of this Getafe team.
Oh, nice move against Arbeloa. Comes on his left foot.
Beautiful cross as well, and they're putting the pressure on the second ball. Pedro Leon coming in from a wide position. Nothing coming, and now there's a gap on that side, and Jesse Rodriguez has the pace to absolutely exploit it. He's been fed by Benzema, and he couldn't tee it back up for either Bale or Benzema.
Yeah, he should have waited a little bit more. Gareth Bale still not there where Jesse wanted him to be. You can see that Getafe is able to produce danger in the box. But on the other side, if they lose the ball there and the counter-attack possibility goes to Real Madrid, they are in danger themselves.
Real Madrid with the absolute luxury of not being involved in the Champions League as it gets back underway this week. They have a week rest. Their tie against Schalke gets underway the following midweek. Bale's shot coming back off Moya, but he's able to gather it back in.
A dangerous bounce there, an unusual bounce after the shot from Gareth Bale. Let's see what happened there on the ground. Weird and surprising bounce with a lot of spin, probably. That bounce is higher than Moya thought at first.
Not the best of surfaces, it should be said, the Alfonso Perez Coliseum.
Benzema escaping on the left wing, trying to get away from Lopez and Alexis, the centre-backs. The wings are vacant for Real Madrid. Gareth Bale moves in, Jesse moves in, Arbeloa stays in. No one here the last 10 yards on the sideline. The same on the left side.
It's a miscue there as Ramos misread the ball. And Pepe's misread that as well. There's a chance here. It's Adrian Colunga. Brilliant responding tackle from Pepe, closing the door firmly after it was his error which led to that break.
Oh, we have the speed. We've seen the speed from Adrian Colunga earlier, but he doesn't use it completely. Here, the touch is not far enough, the first one. So Pepe gets a chance to reach him again and to clear this ball out to corner with a fantastic tackle. But what a mistake by this veteran, Portuguese international. See that the ground here is not the best. Ross, you mentioned it earlier. It's not the best surfaces. It was a weird bounce.
There's one that Diego Lopez has to fend off as it dropped.
Well, this time the surface was not involved. Was a great spin on that ball. No wind. You can see the flags are still. The curve was really due to this perfect spin.
Applied by Pedro Leon, hammered back in, but hammered way off target. Not short of confidence, though.
Well, the youngster, Carlos Vigaray, just trying to beat this man, Diego Lopez. Of course, goalkeeper has changed again from midweek in Copa with Iker Casillas, holding on to his long run of not conceding 862 minutes yet. But in the league, it's Diego Lopez time.
Exceptional record that Iker Casillas, with that 8th consecutive clean sheet in the Copa del Rey, means that no goalkeeper apart from him has ever kept a clean sheet through every knockout round of the Copa del Rey through to the final. We'll see if that luck extends when the final is played out this spring.
It will be played against Barcelona next Thursday. There will be a meeting where this will be happening. All signs are hinting at Valencia again.
They just allowed Bale to waltz straight through the midfield there, Getafe.
Wow, big misunderstanding between Gavilan and Fernandes there.
Game is opening up though. It's very much being played at a higher tempo. And Pedro Leon has won his side a free kick.
No questions asked here about this free kick. Di Maria, and then the final push from Sergio Ramos.
Pedro Leon having his best scoring season since the year that persuaded Madrid to pay 10 million euros for him 4 years ago. He's got 6 goals this season. Trying to play provider here, but the flag was up for offside.
Strong run there from Juan Valera. Yeah, right decision here. The offside is clear. The linesman is completely in line there, can see it, although it makes it, the sun doesn't make his life easy. It's right into his eyes.
Arbeloa. You see our Twitter information flashing across your screen. Feel free to join the conversation. As always, the invitation is open at beIN Sports USA, or tweet Bodo Illgner or myself directly. Let us know what you think of the early showing. An early showing here of the first yellow card. Foul on Borja Fernandes.
Gareth Bale from behind. No doubt this is yellow. Borja almost away from him, and Gareth Bale brings him down. Pulls back but it was too late. He brought him down.
Only the second yellow card for Gareth Bale since his move to Spanish football. Also booked in the Clásico. Pedro Leon takes this one. Another high-hanging delivery. Pepe out. Chance for Hesse to turn Real Madrid from defensive mode to very much offensive mode. It's Di Maria looking for Benzema. Chance to bring it down and finish. Karim Benzema does both. Real Madrid's second goal. And with that, Karim Benzema goes past his idol. The great Ronaldo in goals scored for Real Madrid is 105th.
Great counter-attack from Real Madrid, and they used this weapon last season quite a lot, and they are good at it still this season. You can't play it any better. Hesse brings the ball out to Di Maria, but this delivery from him is so sharp. He finds directly Benzema, who doesn't want to take it directly. He controls this with his chest perfectly well and leaves no chance to Moya. 2-0 after 27 minutes.
It's turning into a wonderful season for Karim Benzema. And there you can see the appreciation being shelled out for Angel Di Maria's pass. Of course, the break started by Hesse. And now with Benzema and Hesse on the score sheet, the only man missing from the score sheet in attack is Gareth Bale. Of course, all three of them scored in the win over Villarreal last week as Real Madrid missed Ronaldo for the first time. They certainly are not missing him today either.
14 goals this season. Karim Benzema criticized in the beginning of the season quite a lot. He was not able to put the chances in he got there. But 14 is a number he can show off with. Not to forget about his 5 assists this season in La Liga.
Wonderful to think there are now only 15 players who have scored more goals than Karim Benzema in the colours of Real Madrid. Now in his 5th season with the club and feeling very much at home once again as the first choice starting striker. Of course, someone who is missing out, courtesy of this system, is Isco. We can get onto him later. As Bale tried to play a ball through there for Di Maria. It was far too far ahead of him.
At this point of the season, with 3 teams equal on points up front, you have to think about goal difference. And Barcelona winning yesterday 6-0. Atletico Madrid winning 3-0. So you need to keep on pace with them wherever you can. And today it looks really like a game you could score some more goals. Getafe trying to come back and trying to play not with a solid defense, and that gives opportunities for Real Madrid in the counter-attack or without right from the game. Another weird bounce here in midfield. Arbeloa lucky to have Pepe behind him.
To your point, Bodo, about goal difference, a win by 2 goals or more today for Real Madrid would mean that temporarily they go back above Atletico Madrid. Of course, really, the head-to-head is the real decider, but they haven't played both games yet, either against Barcelona or Atleti. So at this stage, it is still goal difference which is separating them. But Real Madrid, of course, have ground to make up in the head-to-head stakes because they've lost against both of those sides.
Yeah, and winning against them with the exactly same result they lost in the first round, then it comes to goal difference.
Real Madrid are looking for more here.
Real Madrid is only 3 games away from the derby against Atletico in the Calderon. Match day 26 in the beginning of March.
Before that, they will entertain Elche next week and travel to Germany to face Schalke in the Champions League. really, chance will be on offer next week for Real Madrid to rest a lot of players against Elche ahead of the Champions League, with that being a home game against promoted Elche. No disrespect to them, so perhaps they're thinking about that for the likes of Varane and Isco.
Yeah, you can bring whoever you want to. It's big quality on the bench, as we see here. The foul on Modric from Gavilan.
Miguel Neuer
not being part of the first choices the last 2 matches for Getafe, coming in late in the game between the 70th and the 80th minute. Today starting.
Gareth Bale is 1 goal away from double figures in La Liga. Di Maria is also standing there for company, but it's Bale, only good enough to hammer the wall. Xabi Alonso back in, header out. Modric has missed that one. Ball looped up, looking for Kalunga again. Nice touch from Marcelo.
Just enough to pass it on to Ramos.
What a left-hand side that is for Real Madrid. And Benzema sidestepping one challenge and playing in Gareth Bale, who misses the target.
Oh, what a big one for the Welshman. Gareth Bale. Get your right foot on track here. The goal was wide open. Moya moving over. Benzema could have done it by himself. Unselfishly passes it on to the Welsh, but he missed it, and what a miss. Look at this here. Easy for Karim Benzema to come away there. Challenged by 2 defenders though, so he decides to pass it on to Gareth Bale. Lose a little bit of angle, but for a quality man like this, should take out more of it.
Well, he rather wrapped his foot around it, didn't he? As opposed to playing it back across goal into the far corner with the side foot.
Right. Moya moving there. Another defender sliding in there, and Di Maria looks with a lot of pain.
Well, Di Maria started that move, and he rode one challenge and busted a gut to get into the penalty area. Didn't see anything wrong after Bale had touched the ball, but maybe Di Maria just pulled up awkwardly as he was trying to provide an option in the centre, or feeling an effect of the challenge on him as he burst through the midfield.
That would be the natural change. Ieramendi. Here we have it. Bad touch from Diego Castro there. Hits completely the foot. Di Maria able to continue, but the leg was not stable. Got this hit here, and let's see if the Argentine can continue. Ieramendi warming up, of course. A lot of defensive options on the bench. Only one offensive one with Isco.
Yes, other midfield options, including Ieramendi and Casemiro.
Angel Di Maria trying to continue. Diego Castro, the man who fouled him. Nice pass. Gavilan waiting for Bagaray.
And then not using him. The cross dealt with by Marcelo. Di Maria able to adjust his footing there to provide a nice little flick in mid-air, but we'll see if there's any duress being suffered by him as we approach half-time. 10 minutes to go. And, Diego Castro, the man who had a little chop at Di Maria to cause that injury, off target here.
He looks at the ground as well as a excuse, or maybe an on it explanation. We've seen in the close-ups that this field is not the best. It's pretty much uneven. Can assure no cows were on here during the week because it's closed. We had heard these kind of stories in the earlier years of La Liga, up in Pamplona, in Osasuna, for example, when they did not take care about the pitch the whole week, when they were waiting on rivals like Barcelona or Real Madrid who enjoying their football on nice pitches.
They'd have been happy if the cows had come in, would have been adding to the attendance. Hesse getting back there to defend. Break forward by Valera. And a foul committed, giving Real Madrid a bit of a break here.
Juan Valera, playing right back, was injured January 12th, so it's his first appearance back in here. The man was number 20. Came pretty handy that he was fit again after Arroyo is out with suspension.
It's Modric. As we assess the midfield options for Real Madrid, suffering an injury to someone like Di Maria, or this man Modric, causes a bit of a problem and concern for Carlo Ancelotti, given that his system really depends on their work rate in midfield and their creativity.
On the other hand, I would say, if you take in consideration the players there on the bench, Casemiro, when he plays, shows good skills there. Ieramendi, of course, is for me the man of the future, the man after Xabi Alonso. He needs some time to adjust here in Madrid, to get used to the lifestyle, to the media style, and to the pressure in Madrid. But he is definitely a talent who can take over this position. And I wouldn't be even worried if one of the players needed to step out.
So many options in attack for Real Madrid. Di Maria finding Alonso here. And Modric, who won that free kick, continued on the blind side, but not blind was the goalkeeper, Miguel Moya. Came to fend him away.
Nice trick played here. First in short, and Xabi Alonso looking for Modric, who can make the run. I was in offside anyway.
Of course, we saw a very cleverly worked free kick yesterday in the Atletico Madrid-Valladolid game, involving Atleti taking the lead with Raul Garcia. There is Luis Garcia, seen plenty to concern him.
Megavelan taking down Arbeloa another time, another foul from the captain. No card yet for Getafe players, only the one for Real Madrid, for Gareth Bale.
Here's Bale. He's won a corner there off Figueiredo. Bale with that opportunity to make it 3-0. Now trying to certainly lay it on a plate for somebody else to complete the job.
Interesting to see again Gareth Bale with his right foot, and the defender trying to avoid the center with his right foot instead of his left foot. So both are playing actually on the wrong side, if you want so.
Now being shepherded by Juan Rodriguez is Gareth Bale. Figueiredo taking care of Hesse. They found Arbeloa, trying to stand it up for Sergio Ramos, guilty of a push.
The soft cross like this is easy to defend and really hard to attack. Much better offensive ball is a hard curve ball. Here we have this soft scoop into the box. No problem for the Getafe defense.
Hesse has done well. And Di Maria back to the sprinting Hesse. And off Lisandro Lopez behind for another Real Madrid corner.
You want to have a close look on the ball, how it bounces on the ground. It's really not easy to handle it.
Di Maria appears to be okay after surviving that injury scare.
You get a good impression again off the pitch in these close-ups.
Now swinger beyond Sergio Ramos. Came off Valera behind for another corner.
That was a nice curve. Had the right speed, the right swing. But very good defending here from Valera.
Again, looking for Ramos, who seemed to go at that with his hand. Interesting to see if the goal referee pulls that back. Has a word with
claiming
Ramos.
for a push from behind Sergio Ramos there, but the referee let go, sees the advantage for Getafe. No handball called against Ramos.
Just as well for Ramos that there was an advantage, really, for Getafe to bring the ball clear. We'll see, referee might have been tempted to reach into his pocket for a card. Marcelo has been picked off here. Borja Fernandez battling nicely. Another strong foot in from the veteran on Marcelo this time, and it's too strong. Free kick to Real Madrid.
Foul from Borja Fernandez. And here, the earlier action. Sergio Ramos challenged from behind with a slight push, and then raising his arms, touching the ball slightly. Slightly advantage in ball possession for Real Madrid. You can see that in the left corner, 53%. But more important, they have scored 2 goals and Getafe none.
We see Carlo Ancelotti there, keen to avoid the fate suffered by a number of Real Madrid coaches on this ground. Vanderlei Luxemburgo, Fabio Capello, Bernd Schuster and Jose Mourinho, all coming unstuck against Getafe at the Colosseum, but so far everything going according to plan for Real Madrid.
Oh, they came out here pretty concentrated, pretty intense, and not willing to step back here.
Modric.
Good move from Getafe inside, opening the space for Marcelo.
Lovely touch through the legs of Gavilan, who was keen not to interrupt him illegally. Getafe at the moment, all they can do is win a challenge or two, but it's quickly back into the hands of Real Madrid. It's nice work, though, by Vigaré. The 19-year-old surging forward for Getafe, using Colunga now. Needs support in the box, 3 arriving, so too Diego Lopez.
Pedro Leon was there to pick this center in. But Diego Lopez grabs it out of the air. Nice move from Marcelo earlier.
Real Madrid have had a good deal of occasions when either Di Maria or Benzema have had lots of space to work in, bringing the ball forward. Garcia spoke about Real Madrid being a side that plays so well between the lines.
Yeah, but Getafe gives them a lot of space and not bringing their lines together. Defense and attack are much too far away from each other. So this opens a lot of spaces for Real Madrid, and as you mentioned, they are able to play in these spaces, find those spaces for their fast players.
Xabi Alonso a little bit lucky there. He had a very loose touch, gave him the free kick. They've gone on here with Gareth Bale, trying to bulldoze his way past Alexis, and again, it's Vigaré standing up to him. No added time necessary, but Real Madrid have added 2 goals to the score sheet. Their work was done very early in this first half. Getafe on 5 minutes with a brilliant finish, followed by Karim Benzema getting his 105th goal for Real Madrid. And they lead comfortably at the break. A good performance so far.
Very concentrated performance, and they need to continue like this because Getafe needs to come back. They need the points to not get in trouble.
Getafe have a lot of work to do to try and arrest this slump. We'll see if they can do that at half-time. Come back, the second half will be here on beIN Sports.
You're watching beIN Sports, the international sports network.
Estamos viendo la historia de Ronda Rousey.
Dos peleadoras invictas.
Esa va a ser una guerra de poder a poder.
Y medallistas olímpicas.
Juegos Olimpiadas y es la primera mujer medalla de bronce en judo. Sarah McMahon, la ganadora de la medalla de plata en los Juegos Olímpicos.
Pelearán por el oro del UFC.
Campeona número 1.
Ronda Rousey.
Sarah McMahon. Técnica perfecta.
Sarah McMahon. Campeonato mundial de peso gallo femenino del UFC.
Decidí que mis amigas son lo máximo. Siempre nos vamos juntas de compras y a mi marido no le gusta nadie para que gaste de más. Pero yo le tengo una sorpresa. Por cada amiga que se suscriba a Dish Latino, nos dan $50. Solamente tengo que llamar y pedir que me den los códigos para dárselos a mis amigas. Y a ellas también les dan $50. Está padrísimo. Puedo invitar hasta 10 amigas y así obtener hasta $500. Eso cuesta mi servicio Dish Latino por un año. Y todo gracias a mis amigas. Ahora a mi marido ya no le duele tanto que gaste.
When a diet pill sells over 1 million bottles, it's a good start. Over 10 million bottles, it's time to take notice. But when it sells over 20 million bottles, it's time to try it. Now you can join the millions of people who have tried America's #1 selling diet supplement, Lipozene.
I decided to try it, and I lost 20 pounds with Lipozene.
I lost 35 pounds in 10 weeks using Lipozene.
I lost 7 inches off of my waist and I lost 2 dress sizes and I feel amazing.
Lipozene has now sold over 20 million bottles. That's because Lipozene really works. In fact, in a clinical study, people who took Lipozene lost weight, all while being asked not to change their lifestyle. That means they were asked not to change their diet or exercise. They were simply instructed to take Lipozene, and by just taking Lipozene, they lost weight. But here's where it gets really exciting. 78% of the weight they lost was pure body fat, not water, fat.
Lipozene helped me take out all that body fat, and I feel amazing.
I'm almost back down to my high school weight, so I'm really loving that.
Now you can join the millions of people who have lost weight